All of the 8th graders here started learning when we were mere toddlers. We would sit on the living room floor, playing with our toys, and just wonder about the simple things in life. For most of us, the first words we were taught were Mommy and Daddy. Those two people have inspired us to strive to be our very best at everything we do. That was the first branch on the tree to high school. Next, our parents enrolled us in kindergarten, where we were to begin our schooling career. Some of us, like me, slung our backpacks across our shoulders and marched right into school, while the rest of us were dragged into school saying, "I don't wanna go!" But since we were 5- and 6-year-olds, we got friends with just acting our crazy, childish selves. This was the second, very important branch of our climb, as having a friend gives us someone to go to when we need help or when we just want to have a good time. The next branch was fairly high up, and we had to shimmy up the trunk a little ways in order to get a hand on it and the rest of elementary school. Homework was brought home more often than ever, and the work was about to get harder. Recess was the best time of the day, the time that many of my friends and I would go down to one of the fields by the road and play soccer. We would use 2 trees on each side as our goalposts and have a soccer ball that Dane Pelletier brought every day. The fun we had at recess became the 4th branch on the tree to high school. 5th grade had come and gone, and middle school was just heating up. New kids were coming to our grade, hormones were on the rise, and it was the first year that we were eligible to get detentions. 6th grade was very different than the others because it was the first time we had lockers and subjects in different classrooms. I can remember the great times we had in 6th grade, like making airplanes from styrofoams and performing experiments with eggs. The things we did and the people we met in 6th grade made it a truly great year, especially since the baseball team won the championship that year. We'd gotten our footing on the 5th branch, and we could see the top. 7th grade had come, and the kids were ecstatic as ever about it. I can remember Mr. Nettle talking up a storm about the Red Sox or how the New York Giants won the Super Bowl that year. In the middle of October, our class took a trip to the Boston Museum of Science to look at all the weird science things there. The highlight of my trip was riding on the train and getting Mountain Dew spilled all over my lap. Talk about embarrassing. Then later that year, we went to Camp Kiev, which was a riot. We did things to improve our leadership with our classmates, including eating about 8 meals a day. During our free time, we would use the rope course, play basketball, or play soccer in a small warehouse. Besides that, I took part in 2 championships that year, in soccer and baseball, along with the softball team winning their championship that year. 7th grade, I will always remember. The 6th branch had been reached, and high school was on the brink. Our final year at BCS came after what had seemed to me as a very short summer. We had known each other for a long time, and we would be sad to leave middle school and possibly not see some of our classmates ever again. Lots of fun things kept our spirits up, like the great success of the Math Carnival, a very exciting heritage tour, and just being around our classmates 5 days a week. The boys and girls soccer teams won their championships, and the basketball teams did pretty well throughout the season, despite the boys basketball team coming breathtakingly close to winning their first championship title in a long time. Although, that could not dampen the spirit of VCS. 8th grade was the best and most exciting year I had at Bassboro, and I wish I could relive it one more time. But seeing how life doesn't work that way, I can't. But I guess reaching the final branch of the tree and looking down below was the best feeling. The great times we had together at BCS, I will, and I'm sure you will all remember them too. Thank you to the teachers and parents, and congratulations to the BCS class of 2009.